Charlie, how are you, my man? You well?
Yeah, I was all right, Adam, until about 20 minutes ago when that final whistle went. But I was sat in the train coming down today, thinking, delighted to be here, and opportunity to come in, work 10 to 1, normally in bed at this time. I was sat on that sofa and thinking, do you know what? It actually stitched me up here.
Do you reckon?
First game of the tournament, Scotland away in Germany, battered 5-1, and I'm sat here waiting to get terrorised by these calls.
Well, listen, welcome to it, mate. Welcome to it.
I'm delighted to be here.
03717 223344. I'm sure there's plenty of Scottish fans that have not made the trip. By the way, 200,000 people making the trip.
Yeah, it's what we do. We travel in numbers, and listen, I think the Scotland fans are, it's been a long time since we qualified for a major tournament. Steve's managed to get us there in the last couple, but we go there to party, like you say. No Scotland, no party, and they'll have a good time, they'll enjoy it. Disappointing tonight, you're playing against a top team, and we were talking about it during the game, that the special talents that the Germany have, and unfortunately for Scotland, that special talent, and Musiala turned up tonight, and he was electric.
Yeah, I think pre-game, obviously we listened to talkSPORT throughout the whole course of the day, and there's loads of people coming on. There's optimism, pre-tournament optimism. If you're organised, if you're compact, there's lots of people saying that this isn't the Germany of old. And then you see the teams line up, and you think, all right, yeah, I can see, the camaraderie of the Scottish lads there. Brilliant. If they work together, keep nice and organised, they might be able to do a bit. And then you see the other team lining up, and you see the individuals that were in that side, Champions League winners, guys that are winning leagues in Germany. You know what I mean? Some serious football.
Yeah, and that's what we'll say, is that there's a lot of individuals, but when they come together as a team and they gel and they knit, then they become a tough team to play against, and that's what the Germans were tonight. I thought they were excellent. Even Gundogan, and he caused so many problems. We talk about Musiala, Wirtz from Leverkusen, Toni Kroos again. He was playing with a cigar at times. It was just it was easy for him, but they're a team that could be dangerous on home soil. Havertz getting his goal as well. They'll be delighted with that as a number 9 and being able to score his first goal. So they'll be delighted with the work that they've done tonight, and it'll put them in good stead to win the group going forward.
There's not a lot of people looking past France for the whole tournament, and there's a couple of other names that do sling up. And obviously we've been listening to German fans this week saying that they're not too optimistic about German chances, but big win first game, momentum at home, fans behind them, Musiala doing Musiala things. Momentum's a key thing, especially at home, isn't it?
Yeah, and let's say we've heard from Aid in the last couple of days talk about German fans laughing and thinking that we've got no chance. But like you say, on home soil, the momentum, there'll be a buzz. Yeah, okay, they'll understand that we're playing Scotland and they expect to beat Scotland, but it's in the manner they beat Scotland, and to turn up in the first game with the pressure on to do that and score 5 goals, yeah, they'll take a lot of confidence from that going forward.
Let's get to the calls. 03717 223344. Keep them coming in thick and fast. It's your show, as always, on a Friday evening. Nick, welcome. How are you, mate?
Oh, very well, thanks, Vince. How are you?
Very well indeed, my man. Go on, the floor is yours. What do you want to say?
Oh, thank you very much. Thanks for having me on. I've just got to say, I'm actually English, but I'm a quarter Scottish, so I've got.
Hang on, how does that work? What's a quarter?
My grandma was Scottish.
Right, okay. I like that you've done the division going backwards. Right, so we've got 25% here. Right, go on, mate.
Well, look, I've got to say, I'm massively disappointed with Scotland. I think they sold themselves massively short tonight. I think they approached the game in completely the wrong way. They couldn't compete with the Germans technically, but they could have competed with them physically. And they should have come out of the gates like tigers and been right in the Germans' faces, right from the word go. And, if it had gone into half-time at 0-0, the pressure's all on the Germans, isn't it?
Yeah. Listen, we could say that in hindsight that, Scotland should have come in and went and pressed the Germans. If we pressed the Germans, the space would have been even bigger. They were causing us problems in between the lines and pockets that were dangerous for Scotland, and you could see that with the goals and the movement of some of the players. So if Scotland come out and they opened up, it could have been 7 or 8. So we when we look back, I think 5 is probably a good one for us, because let's say if we went and pressed, the Germans would have picked us off with the quality they have.
Yeah, maybe you're right, mate. But I mean, I still think that the Scots sold themselves massively short. I think they're a much better team than the display they put on tonight. I think you've got some really good players in there.
Yeah,
I'm an Aston Villa fan, by the way.
Yeah.
I just think they sold themselves massively short tonight. I do think if they really got in the Germans' faces, it might have rattled them a bit, because the Germans weren't completely confident going into this.
No, they weren't, and that's the way they were sound. But again, for them as the home nation, you have to look at player for player. They've got players better than us technically. If we wanted to go physically, they would have been able to go physically with us. So you have a game plan and you have to stick to that. And again, we said that before, it is that if Scotland go down early and they start to do things that they want to do on their own, and people go chasing, they'll get picked off. You've got to remember some of the goals that the Germans scored tonight were top level. And it's not just because it's Scotland; they could have done that to anybody tonight. So they've obviously cut us open many times. I think the goalkeeper could have done better for a couple of goals. I think Porteous' red card is reckless, and that causes you problems. The lad comes on, scores 2 goals, wonder strike that he opens up again, but McKenna turns his back, so if he takes it straight in the face or in the chest, that's not a goal. So you could pick the bones out of everything for Scotland tonight, but ultimately we weren't good enough. We were well beaten against a very good German team on the night.
Ross, welcome to the show. How are you, mate?
How you doing, guys? All right?
Yeah, very well, my man. What do you want to say, buddy?
Just obviously, first of all, I think Scotland get absolutely outclassed tonight, and Germany deserve to win. I feel like from a Scotland point of view, it's a wee bit deflating, because they were so hyped up for this game tonight and we couldn't wait for it to start. And I think the first 20 minutes we basically let ourselves down. We're 2-0 down after 20 minutes. It's a long way back. The red card is a clear red card. No arguments about that. But I just think, Charlie, from a Scotland point of view, does this deflate the squad then, going into the Switzerland game now that we've actually conceded a heavy defeat?
No, I don't think it does. I think ultimately what will happen is that we as a nation will have, if we were playing Switzerland first game, we would have pumped it up as high as we could have. We've done it again tonight. That's what you do. We keep saying is, the second tournament and, out of 3 tournaments that Steve's been in charge that we've qualified. No, I think we take the negatives for it. We'll look at it. We'll pick the bones at it. But this team have been there. They've had knockbacks. And Steve, you know what he's like. He'll never get too high. He'll never get too low. And that's what the camp will be. They'll be disappointed. They'll know they'll have let themselves down in terms of some individuals' performances, but individual errors have cost them tonight. But again, against this team, against Switzerland, they'll be okay and they'll be ready to go and try and win that game. And you've seen that with the couple of substitutions, taking McGregor off early, taking McGinn off early. He'll have been thinking at 3-0 about the Switzerland game, about
that's where the importance is, isn't it?
Of course, we know
that's
that.
Where you got. That's where the points
are. The next 2 games were Switzerland, Hungary. They were obviously the 2 important games. If we can get 4 points from that, it will give us an opportunity. Listen, 6 would be amazing, but 4 points possibly could get you 3rd place and get you a qualification.
Well, and as for those that are following this and teams that can qualify, finishing 3rd in a group. Yes, it's 5-1, so automatically in your head you start thinking about goal difference, don't you?
But it doesn't matter.
It's about the results against the other sides, and you would think that one of the 3rd place sides that you're going to be in competition for, or a 2nd place side, is going to be either Hungary or Switzerland, with Germany dominating this group.
Yeah.
So you've got to perform against those 2 sides,
and that's it. And that's what we never done in the last tournament. And we got really comfortably beaten against Croatia at Hampden in the last Euros. And again tonight we were comfortably beaten. There's sometimes you get beat on the night, and Scotland will be a better team come the Switzerland game next week.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy, Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.